applause. Didn't even get to pause.
Hey, what's up everyone? This is Eli from checkit.com here with a Cinema 4D tutorial on Effects Friday, everyone's second favorite day of the week. So anyway guys, welcome back. I'm excited to teach you guys this stuff today. So many of you guys requested that I do another Cinema 4D tutorial and also that I do something that's free, because last time I did Plexus and it kind of probably went over some of your guys' budgets. But anyway, what we're learning today is how to animate a camera into shaking. You see, after all that cool stuff I did right there, how it shakes. This is the actual Cinema 4D file straight out of Cinema 4Ds, so this is what we're making today. Nice, simple, it renders super quick. All of this was created within 20 minutes, no joke. Even this, I created this so quick, but I could teach you guys how to add, cool stuff to this and make this exact intro later if you want, and that song really made it look cool too. But anyway guys, make sure that you give the video a like, because it helps out so much. I hate asking for likes, but you know what, you guys don't leave likes, or you don't leave as many likes if I don't ask. So yeah, please give the video a like. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, because I leave all my favorite comments at the end of the video. And also, all these project files are for free at checkit.com/download, so make sure you go over there and you download them and make me and Brandon happy. Brandon and I. Sorry, that was bad grammar. Goodness gracious. So anyway, guys, I'm actually going to be teaching you guys how to set up this scene. So if you guys know how to set up a scene, with lights and creating the basic animation, click the annotation that's up on the screen right now. But if you guys want to stick around and see how I set up the scene and everything like that, I'm going to be teaching you that right now. So make sure you click that. And if you want to learn, don't leave. And here we go. Let's get to the tutorial already. Goodness gracious. Alright, so this is Cinema 4D, right when you open it. What we want to start with is going up to MoGraph and just go down to MoText, and it will create a nice text right here. And once you create the text, let's actually hit Controller Command Shift S, and that'll just bring up a save window. I'm going to click Shake Project I, and I'm just going to add an I at the end for Roman numeral 2. Hit Enter to save that, and now we can start messing with this text. So select the text, go to the text box, type in whatever you want. You know what, I'll probably put in I'll make it your text later, but right now I'll just have it your, because I'm going to edit this. Make sure you split the words up, because it looks a lot better that way. Let's go to Align. We're going to go Align Middle, and then let's go to Caps, and let's just add a fillet or fillet cap. Goodness gracious, it sounds so weird when you say fillet, but I think it's funny, so I'm going to call it that way. End one on the end and at the start. And what that does is, if you zoom in here, is it just adds a little tiny edge on all of the edges. So yeah, now that we have all that done, click on the text again, and what we want to do is we want to hit Control C, and that will copy it. Then go Control or Command V to paste. Hold down 3, click and drag, and you can start manipulating the camera. Also hit 1, because 1 drags around, and 2 just zooms in and out, so you're probably not going to be using that too much right now. Scroll wheeling does the same exact thing as 2, so yeah, it saves a lot of time just scrolling in and out. But hit 1, hit 3, make sure that you put the camera where you want it, align the your right in the middle. Alright, and now select the top new text you created, drag straight down underneath. Alright, and now let's put this, whatever you want your next text to be. I'm just going to put text. And now we can start arranging this a little better. So let's click on the top one, and let's change the font here. So click where it says font right here, and let's just use a cool looking font. I'm going to choose Orion Pax. It's free. I'll put a link in the description, and I'm actually going to drag this below just because it makes sense to have your on top. So anyway, now I'm going to do the same thing. Click for font. I'm going to go up to the font we chose, which is Orion Pax. Alright, now let's start changing the size and also the angle of the camera to make it a little better. So let's go here. Let's actually increase the depth and lower the height for your. That's a little more pleasing to the eye. And then let's use the 1 key to drag down and maybe bring your up. There we go. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I like how that looks. Alright, so now let's change the render settings so this will reflect our actual final product. So go up to the far right director's clapper, and it'll have that little cog next to it. That's how you know that this is the render settings. And go to the output, and you'll click this little arrow right here and go down to film/video. And depending on what you want, most people will be fine with 720, but this is check it. So we're going to go full 1080p. Of course. Make sure that you do frame range, and we want all frames. Alright, now go to save right here, and we'll go over to this 3 dots, and we need to choose a save area, and we want shake II, and also make sure that you do a new folder, because most of the time, depending on what you select here, if you forget to select something, it might have like 240 pictures saved to your desktop and might overload your computer or something. So just make sure that you create a new folder every time you want to render out something. So I'm going to hit save. And for format, I'm going to change that to QuickTime Movie. Then go over to the options, click on it, and make sure that you change the compression type to something way more manageable than animation, because when it's saved to animation, it's a non-compressed file, which makes it enormous. No joke. So make it H.264, because that's just a way better format. And yeah, make sure it's set all the way to best. 30 frames, we're good. Okay. And now we're not going to mess with anything over here because we want a quick render. So we are all set up. So let's use the scroll wheel, zoom out. Alright, and maybe zoom out a little more, maybe right there. Use the 1 key, maybe the 3 key to tilt it a little more. Oh yeah, that looks good. How about right there? That looks really cool. Alright, so now we're going to create a new camera. So go up to the camera, obviously, and hit it. And that will create a new camera. It's pretty straightforward. But here's something not so straightforward. So right now, you're in just your editor mode, right? You can zoom out, use the 3 key, and you'll notice that there's a camera right here. But to get to your actual camera view, you have to click this little black box right here. And that'll turn white, and it'll bring you back into the camera view. And that's actually a really handy feature because you can click off of it, you can freely move around, edit to your heart's desire, and then you can go back to your perfect shot that you set up so long ago. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So anyway, now to set up our scene, just go to the side here, and we're just going to create some lights quick. So there's this light bulb over here. Let's click and hold on it, and go down to Area Light. Alright, and let's zoom it out, put it behind the camera, raise it above the camera, and now we can start messing with these settings over here. Let's actually click on the color. Let's move it a little more towards the orange area just to give it a little tad bit of color. Not too much though, maybe that's even a little too much. Right there is good. Alright, intensity, let's change it to 150. And next, let's mess with the details of the light over here. And the outer radius doesn't really matter because we want to get into the size X and the size Y. Size X, we want it pretty wide. And the size Y, we don't want it too big, so let's squeeze that. 147 should work, and 132. Those are the settings I'm using. You guys can use whatever you want. I'm not the boss of you. Goodness gracious. So anyways, let's zoom out. Let's use the 1 key to go up here. Then let's go up to our rotation tool, which is located up on this menu up here. And let's just use the red rotation just to rotate it forward, to aim it more at our text over here. And next what we want to do is we want to click on it, hit Controller Command C, and then Controller Command V to paste. And let's go up to our move tool, which is this one right here. And let's actually move it behind rotation. I mean, I've taught you guys the keys for this already, so it should be pretty straightforward. Let's actually do that. Go push it up and maybe back a little bit just to give it a nice little backlight. There we go. Alright, so then let's go back to our camera view. And you'll notice that it's already turning out a lot better. But there's no color to it, so let's add that right now. Let's double click in this blank canvas area down here to create a new material. Double click on the material, and let's start with the color. You guys can make it whatever you guys want. I think for this project, I'm just going to stick with Checkit's colors, which are lime green and blue, but I'll make the blue in a second. So what we want to do is, we want to go down to the specular, turn down the height a little bit, and turn up the fall off a little bit. Then we're going to go to the glow. This is just going to make it glow a little bit, but we need to mess with this because we don't want it glowing like this. Not at all. So what we want to do is we want to change the inner strength to 50. Oh, not 500. Goodness gracious. Delete one of those zeros. And then outer strength, we want to change it to 100. Then hit OK. And you'll notice that you're getting this kind of glowy looking sphere here. It's looking pretty good, but the specular, we just want to mess with that until we get something that we like a little more. You know, that looks pretty good. What I'm looking at right here is this little white dot. I don't want it overbearing or else the glow will look pretty stupid. So let's put the green on the top, and then let's Controller Command C and Controller Command V the material. Double click either one, and then let's change the color. So go up to color, and we'll change the color to a kind of worn out bluish, light blue. Cool. Click and drag that onto the bottom text. And if we hit the pre-render, you'll see that it's looking pretty awesome. But you know what? In my original example, I had an outline on this, so let's actually create one more. Let's Controller Command C, Controller Command V the blue. Let's go into this and let's change it to black. Okay. Yeah. And then let's drag this onto both of these. And you can actually click and hold Control and then just drag straight up, and it will put it on both of them. So what we want to do is you'll see that when you click either one of these, that you'll have a selection option right here. And you need to type in capital R, the capital is very important, 1. Okay, and then that'll just put it, here if I get out of the camera view, I can zoom in over here, and you'll notice that now there's a little black outline where we put those little fillet caps. It's kind of cool. So let's actually do that for the bottom one as well. So let's look at this, and let's go to this, and let's just type in R with a capital and then a 1. And it does the same exact thing. So now we can go back into our camera, and that just makes it look a little bit better. The last thing we need to do is just group these two buttons right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to this cube right here. We're going to click and hold and go down to null. Drag the null underneath everything. And we're going to select mode text 1 and the regular mode text, and that's holding shift, so then we can select them both. And we'll click and drag it on top of the null object, and you'll see that the pointer turns to a down arrow, and that just means that you're putting it within the null object. And now we can move the null, and it'll move both of the text. So that's handy if you just want to be able to animate big chunks of text at once. So now we can teach you guys how to animate our camera and actually our object as well. So let's unclick our camera, let's zoom out. First thing we want to do is we want to add some frames to this entire project. We obviously know that our end product is going to be 30 frames per second. So right now at 90 frames, that means that we have 3 seconds of footage. What we want to end up with is about 8 seconds. That's a good intro in my opinion. So the number we want to type in here is 240. If you're a math genius, you should have got that. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but most of you guys, if you're doing computer stuff, you're probably kind of smart. So anyway, let's click and hold this. This is like your work area for your project in After Effects. We just want to drag this all the way out so we can see all of the frames. And now we're going to move forward to probably around 60 frames. 60 frames should be just fine. And we're just going to click a keyframe for the null's position right here. So all we want to do is just go down to this little tiny key down here. We're going to click while it's there, and that's how easy it is to create a keyframe. So now what we want to do is we want to just click and drag this text behind the camera, and we just want to hit the keyframe again. And it was that easy, guys. We just created a very subtle move shot in, like, I'll show you just so you guys can see. So we hit play down here. Boom, it comes in. But that's a little tiny bit boring. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit more animation to this. Let's go to our null. Let's go to coordinates. And let's actually go back to the front here. And let's just hit rotation a little bit. You see that? Just a little bit of rotation. We'll hit the keyframe. And now it'll also turn a little bit as it's going to its spot. So I mean, it just makes it a little more interesting. Anyway, guys, you guys can always put a random effector on this and do anything you want. Encompass other tutorials I've done for you guys. But for right now, that's going to do. So now we want to add that nice rumble effect to our camera. So you're probably wondering, how do we do that? Well, it's very simple. Let's right click on the camera, go to Cinema 4D tags, and go all the way down to vibrate. And if you accidentally click off of this, to get back to that tag that you went to, there's this little tiny sphere right here. We're going to click that, and that'll bring you right back to where you were. So if you were watching and you hit play, you'll notice that there's no vibration at all happening on the camera right now. And that's because we have to enable the position here. You do that by just clicking that little box right here. And now if you hit play, you have some animation, but that's a little too much. I like to stick in the 10 to 20 area, so 14. This is X. See how it's shaking on the X axis there? This is Y, so this will make it go up and down. So now it's going in a kind of circle motion. And the last one is Z, so that's forward and back. This is more of like a zooming effect, so let's do that at about 9. And then you'll notice that it's pretty fast, but if you guys want that, that's how you do it. This is the frequency, how many times a second it happens. So the faster you do this, the more your animation will happen. So if we just turn this up like insane, you'll notice that it's just out of control, you know. And if that's the effect you're going for, like, you know, Donkey Kong walking towards you or something, then there you go. But for this effect, it's a little too much. So let's actually bring all these down. If you hit tab, you'll just go to the next one over here. So I'm just going to go down to 15 there. 9 centimeters is fine. Then let's actually hit 1 for the frequency, and you'll notice that now this is going to look a lot more realistic, more like someone's actually holding the camera in 3D space. So yeah, now you have that nice basic animation going on here, but sometimes you don't want the animation happening until a certain point. Like in this, I want it to stop and then start shaking because we have that big bubble pop up and then the screen shatters, and then that's when the camera starts moving with the music. So what we want to do is we want to animate this expression down here. So how do we do that, Eli? Well, I'm going to teach you. Goodness gracious, calm down. So when your text stops, we want to go a couple frames past, maybe, you know, 2 or 3, and we're just going to right click on the amplitude, go to animation, and go to add keyframe, and you'll notice that this turns red, and that's exactly what we want. Now we can go forward, click on the centimeters here, go 0, tab 0, tab 0, right click, animation, add keyframe, and now you'll notice the camera is steady, steady, steady. It stops, and then boom, it happens. So we could play that in fast motion here. Boom, it stops. Boom, it goes. It's awesome. I mean, we'll just render this one more time just to pre-render it, just to make sure we like how it looks. I think that looks really good. And with that, we can click this, and it will start saving. And yeah, with that, that's the end of the tutorial. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I mean, this was a quick, nice, easy effect, but really we had to get that out of the way, because if you guys didn't know how to do that, it'd be a burden to teach you guys that every single time in the more advanced tutorials. So anyway, guys, next week, or maybe even Monday or Tuesday or something, I'll teach you guys, you know, how to maybe animate this, and I'll give you guys a cool template or something that you guys can make intros with. So make sure that you leave the video a like for all the hard work Brandon and I put into these tutorials, and also make sure to leave a comment, and also stay tuned to the end of the video to see if your comment from my last tutorial made it into this one. And yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Seriously, you guys are so awesome for all the support you guys show Brandon and I. Make sure that you go download this project file, because it's a free intro. So yeah, everything about this is free if you have Cinema 4D, so be happy. With that, guys, I'll see you guys on the next tutorial. Peace.
Didn't even get to cross.
I said I'm moving too far. Get to grasp. Looking at a shooting. shooting star. Got more than a couple of people going mad, I swear they're rooting hard. Tell them I'd be big in the game like she went and got them breast implants. I said I'm moving too fast, didn't even get a glance. I'm ready to eat up track like I'm seated in a restaurant. If you had swag like mine, you know it's best to flaunt.